Hello and welcome back to the Beerly Football Podcast. I am joined, not as always, by Mr. Eggman and Trevor's secret lover.
Hey!
It's Carrie Dempsey. We have Lil Dort in the house.
Trevor's dying in a hurricane right now.
Yeah, Trevor couldn't make it. He's dying in a hurricane currently, and also crying to his mom. So
that's what you get for slandering Justin Herbert every day of your life.
So they brought on Trevor Light.
Yes. Wait. Look. All right, Dort. We know what pod you're from. We'll give you a chance. Want to promote it?
Let me talk about it, man. I am from the most rated, highest rated Beerly podcast there is out. The Beerly Hoops podcast, 4.9 stars on Apple. If you watch basketball, you can check us out there. And if you don't watch basketball, I watch football too. So, I mean, I'm here, man. You know, I heard you guys talking last week on Nando's guest appearances on the pod. He's a 3 times podder. So am I, man. So what's up, Nando? I'm coming for your neck, baby.
Taking over the title.
Trying to take the title from Nando.
Yeah.
I'm going to take it next week, too. Let's keep that hurricane going.
So now let's get back to the most viewed podcast on YouTube, the Beerly Football Podcast. What are we drinking tonight? Dort, you start.
I just want to say, Beerly Hoops clips have more views than Beerly Football Podcast. Just saying. Just want to throw it out there. I mean, y'all got the numbers. We got the ratings, quality over quantity. Today I kind of decided to go a little hard with my drink. You know, I was feeling good, so I went a little Capri Sun fruit punch, something like maybe I'll pound a couple on the show. You know, just flex my tolerance a little bit.
Okay, Carrie, what are you having?
Yeah, I'm going to get a very different beer. It does not taste like beer. It is a Flaming Dreams Nitro Berry Blonde Ale. It's very different.
Does it taste like fruit?
Yeah, it tastes like blueberries. It's very different.
Is it good?
Yeah. Yeah, it's like not what I was expecting. I'd give it a like 6.0 out of 10.
What's the ABV on that bad boy?
Oh, it's very low. I think it's like 4.7.
Oh, that's low.
Yeah. Very low.
All right, so you know my Jags won. So you know we in Big Cat Country. Pineapple passion fruit sour. Wild leap.
It's a way to go.
Okay.
It is very sweet. Very sweet.
Come on, bro. Come on, man. Yeah, so
very
if you want to
sweet.
hear
That's what victory tastes like. Very sweet.
Come on, man.
All right, so we're going to jump right into the show. Carrie, what are we starting off with?
Let's talk about Florida college football for a second.
I don't want to talk about Florida college football. Let's talk about...
I mean, Trevor's not here to defend UF choking another game, but...
Wait.
about Miami?
I don't want to talk about it, okay? There is a college football game I do want to talk about. How about Texas Tech beating Texas for the first time in like 15 years?
That's very surprising. Like, Texas looked very good early on, especially that Alabama game.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
For Texas, they stormed the field and everything. They like the post-game interview with the coach was like in between like 8,000 fans. You couldn't even see the reporter or the coach. It was wild. But big win for Texas Tech. Patrick Mahomes alumni.
Came back from to play college football again.
Yeah.
He's that good. He
He's
can play
that
college
good.
and NFL at the same time. Do you see the Clemson game?
I saw a little bit of it. I thought Wake Forest was gonna win.
Yeah, it was good. Dude, Sam Hartman's a beast.
Yeah,
he's gonna be the next quarterback in the NFL.
He was he one of the guys on QB1 with Justin Fields?
I'm not sure.
I think he was.
He's a beast. He had he had 39 passing TDs last year, 11 rushing.
Yeah,
he's a beast.
He's a beast. Yeah, he's really good. I can't remember if he's the same guy from QB1. I just know that one of the guys from QB1 went to Wake Forest, and he was like extremely good. And I think it was him because it looked like the same guy. I just remember the face.
Close enough.
Yeah.
All right. Before I forget this week, last week, Pick'em, we had, I think, like 233 total responses. 14 people got it right.
Yeah. So
It's a great
just for
ratio.
reference, there's tough games to pick last week because everyone on the show went 1 and 2.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Trevor's still in the lead.
Yeah.
That's sad.
Do I
All right.
count for
But
Trevor?
it's super
We're doing
tight.
both.
He's got a 1-game lead on you and a 2-game lead on me. So
He's going to fall apart this week.
Yeah.
You know he's picking the Bucks.
he's picking the Bucks.
All right, so our week 3 winners at Diamond Life 9-1, Candace Howard. At GNY, MNYY, Grandma out of the Bronx. She's a second-time winner, one of only 2.
Fantastic job.
I might be the Chad. I might be Chad. He might be the Chad.
Whoa!
Him in the 626. The booster sucked, but he's still alive. Still good at picks. At Stuart Bradley, 15, loves the NFL and the NBA. At Rams _ Cam, go Rams. At Mavs 3441, Chad, go Dolphins. Great week for the Dolphins.
Great
At
week.
Corey _ Harkleroad.
Shut up.
Yeah, he's a former boxer. He's also a dad. At Sheldon _ 305. A lot of Dolphins fans won this week. Go Canes. Go Fins. Canes fans. Zach, gotta love that. At Battling the Book, they got free daily sports
Happy,
bets.
but I'm crying.
At Flamboyant Tarzan, another Dolphins fan. At Johnny15601, he's not here for a hookup, and he's a Pittsburgh fan. At
Why would
Ridiculously
you put that on your Twitter profile?
Yeah, what the fuck?
That's,
I'm gonna start posting that.
Interesting.
Not here for a hookup.
This guy just enjoys life. And lastly, this is one of Zach's boys. Out of the Beerly Zach lead at Tim _ Monahan 9. He's a writer at Fansided. Making Zach proud. All right, winners for that week. You want to do Pick'em week 4 right now? Just get over with?
Yeah, let's just get it over with.
All right, let me give you guys the games.
Wait, hold up. Before we get into Pick'em, I just want to say another quick flex from Beerly Dorts. You guys never really acknowledged it, but quick Beerly trivia. Do you guys know where Pick'em actually comes from?
Dort.
Yeah, it comes from
No,
Dort.
Beerly Hoops Dort show, man. We got
Yeah.
ideas on ideas, and I'm happy for you guys to adopt this idea because this is so fun. Honestly.
It's a good idea.
Like,
It's a good
it's a
idea.
great way to get our
And
community
as the
involved.
Beerly boss, I celebrate
beer.
good ideas. Thank you, Dort.
That too.
Hey, do I get a raise?
I don't get paid for this, so
All right.
it's about the boys.
It's about
It's
the
about
boys.
the
We're
boys.
the boys. All right, week 4 pick'em. Let me just tell you the games, and then I'll give you guys Trevor's picks, and we go through.
Okay.
First game, Washington at Dallas.
Mm.
Then Tennessee at Indianapolis.
Mm.
And then KC at Tampa Bay, the Sunday night football game. Trevor picks for the week. He went with Washington
Ooh.
over Dallas. He picked the Colts over the Titans. And do we have to guess who he chose in the Bucks Chiefs?
He's going 7-1, I guess now, huh?
That's why he didn't come on the show.
Bucks by 50. All right, Dort, you're the guest.
Go ahead,
Want
pick
to go
Dort.
first?
I got it on my whiteboard right here, so I don't forget, man. Commanders, Cowboys. I think I'm gonna give it to the Cowboys. I saw there's a lot of good things that the Cowboys showed yesterday, even though it was against the Giants. I know you're streaming it, Zach, and people were hating on me for showing love to the Cowboys or the Giants. But
Giants
I mean,
are
I'm gonna
good.
pick the
Giants are
Cowboys.
good. They just have an
I
idiot
think
at
they're
quarterback.
good. Yeah, I think they're good. I mean, Daniel Jones is fast.
If you had a good quarterback on that team, they're a playoff team.
Yeah. If Sterling
Titans,
Shepard
Colts.
couldn't get hurt every 3 plays, you know.
Yeah.
By the way,
Kenny Galladay-
prayers out to that guy. That guy's life has to suck. Oh my
He gets hurt
god.
every play, bro. It's so sad. Every year we can't get a good year of Sterling Shepard. Like,
Yeah, I know.
cannot-
When he's healthy, he's so good. But he
Uh-huh.
just can't stay healthy. It's
I
sad.
picked him up in fantasy in one of my leagues, and I thought he was just gonna be a dog, and like it was starting to look like it, and then the Dort curse struck again. You know.
ACL tear, by the way. ACL tear.
They're the worst receiving core ever. Kenny Galladay is literally the worst player in the history of sports. It gets paid like $20 million to do nothing.
That's-
That's crazy.
That's crazy take.
Didn't he even get a target last night? And he gets paid $17 million this year?
You could say most overpaid, but worst in sports.
He's
Yeah,
terrible.
you got to think. Nathan Peterman
on.
is a person that exists in the
No
world.
Nathan
Yeah.
Peterman slander tonight.
Did you forget about his quarterback? Come on, man. Daniel Jones. is
Sterling
still-
Shepard sucks. This is best receiver. David Sills, Richie James. Come on.
Shout out David Sills. Give me the under. David Sills kind of stray.
Dude,
Titans Colts.
wide receivers are back. Cooper
They
Carter
are, bro.
leading the charge. Ben Skronik, the Scotty Miller, Cole Beasley.
All right. What's the guy's name? Nick
Adams on the
Nick
show.
Adams.
Nick Adams. There it is. I get to make the Nick Adams joke. Titans Colts. Give me the Titans, man. I'm rolling with Derrick Henry. I think they're back. And I think they're gonna win that division. But we'll get into some of that a little bit later.
No shot.
And then Chiefs Bucks. Do the Bucks have a dome? Are they playing?
No, they're outside.
Then I'm gonna take the Bucks. I think because I like their run game, and Mahomes won't be able to hit that deep ball.
Was that in? Is that in KC or Tampa?
It's in Tampa.
That's gonna be a mess.
Yeah, it's gotta be.
The Bucks are in Miami.
No, it should be. It should be out of there because it's supposed to come up here on Friday and Saturday. It should be out of there by Sunday.
They're in Miami right now. I think the Bucks are there, but let's kind of throw them off.
Interesting.
Well, it's not like gritty practices anyway.
Then I'm still gonna take the Bucks because the whole like, oh, we made it through the hurricane, we gotta win it for our fans. You know how narratives start. So give me the Bucks Titans boys.
Zach, you want to go with me?
Yeah, I'll go ahead. Now, you guys know how positively I've talked about Carson Wentz on this show.
He was horrible. He looked like a trash
Bring
can.
out Heineke.
Huh?
Daniel
Bring
Jones.
out Heineke.
No, don't bring out Heineke.
Top 10 quarterback.
Shut the fuck up.
He said both of them were top 10 quarterbacks.
Yeah,
All right, so what I am going to say is the Dallas pass rush is going to be too much for that offensive line. They don't look good. That offensive line does not look good. We saw that last week with the Eagles. So I'm going to go with the Cowboys. So give me the boys. I'm going with the Tennessee Titans over the Colts. I'm not a believer in the Colts. I just do not believe in the Colts at all.
Who does?
I think that team is a fraud. They're a fraud for the win they had last week.
Preach.
Okay. And then Bucks Chiefs. I said it the first 2 weeks of the year, and I'm gonna keep saying it until they prove me otherwise. Whenever the Bucks run into a real offense, they're gonna lose. So give me the Chiefs.
I like the Chiefs though. I'm not gonna hate on the Chiefs if I'm being honest. Like I really like the Chiefs.
They looked horrible last week.
They didn't look good. They weren't executing.
Every team is off weeks.
They didn't execute at all.
All right, wait, Zach. Big game of the week for you. Not an official pick'em game. Jags, Eagles. Who you taking?
This is a tough one, man. The Jags defense looks they look for real, and especially against the run, which is the Eagles' primary form of offense. The real question in that game is going to be if we can force Jalen Hurts to throw the ball, can we stop them passing? So if we can do that, I think we stand a chance. I did not, because I do a weekly pick'em thing with one of the guys that I work with, like all games, every game of the week, and I picked the Chargers last week to win that game because I thought Chargers were a better team. But after watching the way my defense played against that Chargers offense, I feel much better coming into this week against the Eagles, who are hot. They have a great offense, a great defense. What we're really going to see is how good can this offense perform against the top 5 defense, and can our defense play exceptionally well to keep our offense in a game? Because if you look at the way this team is playing, it's clearly a defensive team that has an offense that is average, I would say. So I will say that I think right now I'm taking the Eagles in a close one in that game. Again, you come here for my unbiased opinion. I'm going to take if I'm picking that game, I'm taking the Eagles in a close game, and I'm going to say it's probably low scoring.
He may have terrible opinions, but at least he's unbiased. That's all that matters.
Do you disagree with my take?
I think you're giving the defense a bit too much credit.
I think so too. I think the Jags defense, I told you, is good, but I think the Eagles are gonna wash them.
Herbert was hurt. Keenan Allen didn't play. They lost Slater. They had more injuries in the O-line. Eckler did nothing. Those are more of the Chargers
Can you
defense
blame
being terrible.
Eckler for doing nothing on Eckler, or can you say the defense played him well?
No, we're gonna talk about it later. Don't even worry about
Yeah.
it. Don't even worry about it. We're gonna talk
In
about
the
it.
word,
Later.
in
We got
words of
points.
Trevor, Herbert
I got-
disaster class.
I got 5 points, so I used one of them. You know?
All right. All right, and
But-
then for me, I'm gonna take Dallas. I think Cooper Rush 4-0 as a starter.
Woo.
I know. I feel like I feel
Spicy.
like people are gonna start calling for him to start or Dak. I don't know. Maybe it's early.
Honestly,
Jerry
he
Jones
looks.
loves-
Honestly,
Jones
I'm gonna
loves
say
that guy.
this, and people are gonna call me crazy for it. He runs that offense better than Dak runs that offense.
Dak is a better
He's a-
quarterback, but I
yes.
think Rush is better for that
Rush
team.
is better for that system than Dak. I think
Trevor
Dak's a
did
better
blowjob for
quarterback,
that.
but in that system, Cooper Rush is better in that system.
And finally, please stop using Zeke and start using Tony Pollard as RB1. It is
Thank you.
he's
Why
so
is
much
Zeke
better.
even in the league anymore? He's fast.
Money.
He's not as fast.
You don't
He
need
can't make
Ewok
quick
in the
cuts.
NFL.
Stop. Hey, don't disrespect Pete Zeke, man. He's good. He's due for one good rush a game. So
He hits the hole slower than your grandpa. Like, come on now.
Little chubby man, run that. All right. At Titans at Colts, like Zach, I do not trust the Colts. Titans all the way. Derrick Henry pounds them all night long, night and hard. And then Chiefs
let
at
him
Bucks.
go.
Tom Brady is washed. Sadly, I'm not a huge Chiefs fan, but I think you're going to win this game pretty easily. Chiefs by 50.
Now you're gonna curse him the
Wow.
other way.
Wow.
God, you and
I
Trevor.
think I go
I
3 for
hate
3.
you guys.
I think I go 3 for 3 this week.
It's happening. All right, check us out on Twitter. We'll drop it on Friday. If you want to enter for next week, get a shout out on the show. Ready for some points?
I'm ready.
Yeah, let's
Who
go.
wants to start?
Dort, you go ahead. You're the guest. Ladies
Guess on the
first.
show, man. Whoa, come
Wow.
on. You can't say that while I'm in the Joe Shiesty jersey. That's some disrespect. Joe's gonna come after her. Let me pull my points up. Okay. Where do I start, man? I guess we just talked about Zeke. So listen, before I get to these points, I just want to let y'all know, as a podcaster, and I hope all Beerly members hold themselves to this standard, no one wants to come and listen to a podcast that's going to say the same thing ESPN's going to say, The Athletic's going to say. I don't want to give you guys my safe points. I could easily go out here and say Patrick Mahomes is good at football. Like, we all know that.
He's overrated.
That's what we want to hear. That's what
Exactly.
we want to hear. And we're
He's
going
a
to get
game
into
manager this year. Come at me.
and we're going to get into some stuff like that. But my first point is I think Ezekiel Elliott and Tony Pollard can lead a team to the playoffs with a good defense. I think that's where I'm going to start. I mean, yesterday they were just the reason Cooper Rush is so good. The reason Cooper Rush is so good is because he doesn't have to do anything.
Was he so
Yesterday
good?
showed
Or
it.
was Daniel Jones so bad that he couldn't lead his team to score? The Cowboys literally had to do nothing.
Never bet against the Daniel Jones under when his back's against the wall. That's all I gotta say.
I did yesterday, and he cooked me. 80 yards rushing. So
Do you think
I just gotta talk fantasy points. I don't care about
Daniel
Do you
Big.
think that team could keep up with Philly, like Philly's fast-paced offense? That running
think-
the ball with Zeke.
I think they're going to be a wild card team. I think they'll be second. I don't think they'll be better than Philly. I like Philly a lot, but
Let's
I
see.
think they'll be second.
The NFC East is the best record of any division in football right now. They're
Is
no
that
longer
real?
the NFC East. Yeah, crazy. Probably because the Phillies 3-0, Giants 2-1, Cowboys 2-1.
It's because they
Commanders-
keep playing against each other.
Yeah.
But I think the Cowboys are good for a wild card this year. Book it.
Are you?
Book it. Dort lock.
Do you think they're better with Dak?
Low key, no, because when you have Dak, you have to throw the ball more, and I think their run game is where they're strong.
And they have no receivers besides Lamb, really. And Noah Brown's pretty
Well,
good.
Gallup's coming back
Noah Brown looks
soon,
good.
but
Yeah.
yeah.
But
Noah
Cooper
Brown
Rush
does
makes
look
Noah Brown look like a top 5 receiver in football. So keep Dak off the field if you're getting a top 5 receiver in football from Cooper Rush. My next point, we also talked about this earlier, but you guys had me on the show for my top fantasy list. and I think I had Eckler at 9, and even that I didn't want to do. And I just want to say I was so right about Eckler, man. Like,
Yeah.
you
He's
know,
touchdown dependent.
the Chargers throw the football a lot, and Eckler is a good pass catching running back, but he's not a good running back. He isn't. He's not top 10. He's not top 15. He's cool, but I'm not.
He's
I would
sick
rather
at
have
Madden.
Pollard. He's sick at Madden,
He is.
sick at gaming, and always is gonna tell you what to do in fantasy. But I would rather have like Tony Pollard over Eckler. if I'm
I would
being
agree with
honest.
that.
You're telling me
I think Pollard's a better running back.
and I mean the Eckler hype was getting so annoying. I know our Discord really active in there. Someone was saying they would take him first overall. I hope bro didn't do that because some fantasy leagues are getting paid off that dude if he took Eckler first in the league.
How many touchdowns does he even have this year? I feel like he doesn't have any.
I don't know, maybe one. I think maybe he had one against the Chiefs.
I think he had 1 touchdown this year because I have him on my fantasy team.
But look, I'm 2 for 2, right? Come on, more W's than Trevor.
I mean, that's not hard.
Yeah, that's not that hard.
He's averaging-
Well,
he's averaging
I mean, Austin
He's
Eckler,
averaging-
13th running back in fantasy this year. So
He's averaging 2.5 yards a carry.
But and a lot of that is how good that Chargers offense is, and like
They're all. I think Slater's out for the year now. I think I
I
saw.
did see that. You throw one of us out
That's
there,
a big loss.
I could average 2.5 yards a carry. So
He does not have a touchdown in 3 weeks.
yeah, the big thing he makes his points on is pass catching. Eckler.
Yeah, 21 catches. Trevor would have a field day with that. 7 catches per game.
I would bet on him getting a touchdown this week, though, if I could.
Yeah,
just 'cause-
with Texas.
just 'cause
Yeah,
they
against
need it.
your lovely Texans.
They need it. I mean, fuck it, bro. I mean, shout out the Colts, our only non-loss of the year.
Are you on the Davis Mills train?
I am on the Davis Mills trade. I just think we don't have the tools, and I like our defense too.
Defense looks good. Yeah, the defense keeping them in game.
Yeah, I mean, our offense is like putting up in a shitty spot where they have to play defense like every play.
At least they're finally using Pierce. He looks good.
Yeah, Pierce looks really good. I really like our team. We just gotta put it together. And
Still
we'll be
haven't
straight,
scored in the
but
fourth quarter this season, but
we let the Bears beat us. So, I mean,
with Justin Fields 7 completions and 2 picks.
that's crazy. Yeah, I don't. But my next point, Russell Wilson. Gotta talk about Russell Wilson on a football. Listen, Barely Hoops. Like you guys know your stuff. We're all about just slamming people. Like
That's
I'm
my
a
job.
hater. That's a job. I'm a hater.
Trevor's not gonna like this take. I can already tell you right now.
Oh,
Trevor's not gonna
Russell
like this take.
Wilson is a system quarterback. Bucket. Thank you.
Preach.
3 for 3. I'd rather have Cooper Rush than him. I mean, Russell Wilson doesn't do shit. You guys saw Richard Sherman and KJ Wright talking about Russell Wilson? Did you guys see those clips?
What did they say?
They were saying how Pete Carroll was just riding for Russell Wilson, and that he'd be like, "Oh, he's young and all that. Like he's not a year younger than all those guys." And a lot of the Seahawks defense hated it, and they felt like they put Russell Wilson over that defense, which is crazy because that Seahawks defense was ridiculous.
Yeah.
And you're telling me you're gonna take a system?
I mean, they threw away the game by throwing that pass against the Patriots.
Great
had
time.
2 Super Bowls. That's a legendary team.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think he's a system quarterback, and Nathaniel Hackett might be the worst coach in football history. So,
Did you see Lockett? Like he's still using the same play calls.
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh, they're running this."
He was calling him out. Yeah, I mean that's crazy, bro. I don't know how he's literally. I'm not a fan.
I don't think he's that good. Like Geno Smith is not playing great, but like numbers wise, he's putting up numbers.
What does Russell Wilson do great?
Nothing. He's good. But he's not great. He's not great. He's a good quarterback, but like he's not great. He's not elite.
Yeah. I don't think he's ever been elite.
He's always been carried by that
Either.
defense for years.
And that Broncos defense looks legit too. I mean, they look like some dogs out there.
Doesn't matter if that offense can't show up for one.
Yeah.
And I don't get why. My last thing on the Broncos is they don't just run it to Javonte every play because Javonte looks like a top.
He's so good.
Yeah, he's really good.
He's so good. I mean,
And then Jordan too. Like
Yeah,
and Gordon's great too. And they have another guy. I was seeing they were running to him a lot too. I think it's.
they shouldn't even play
Dak?
him. They shouldn't even play him.
I think they should've just run it
I
every
get
play.
that you want to keep your running backs fresh. You could do that with 2 running backs. You don't need to pull Javonte Williams out every second play because it's time to get
I don't
this
get it
guy
either.
snaps in.
It needs to be his backfield too. Gordon gets still too many touches. Williams is a lot better than
But
Gordon
now
right
splitting between 3 instead of 2, that's still a big difference. Like you
now.
look at the
Yeah.
success Dallas is having with Pollard and Elliott,
Feed Zeke.
you get
But
I
you
even
get
I
like
think
Coleman, like
huh?
Dearness Johnson is good enough to be an RB2, if not RB1 on most teams.
Mhm.
But he doesn't even get touches in Cleveland. They just
Yeah.
use Chubb and Hunt, and that works for them.
Yeah. And
Like there's really no reason
Denver should be doing. But instead they're running this 3-back system that doesn't allow any of the 3 running backs to get hot
They're
and
honestly
go
going to be
off.
like the Manning team that won the Super Bowl. Defense carrying that team.
They're
I don't know
not
how.
even they're not sniffing a Super Bowl.
I don't know how they're 2-1.
Because
I
their
don't know what's going.
schedule has been
no
shitty, dude.
offense.
Their
Yeah,
schedule
they've
has been
gotten-
shitty.
Same thing with the Bears being 2-1 right now.
Same thing with the Bears. Schedule has been shitty.
I don't know how the Raiders are 0-3. That just
Oh,
that blows my mind.
they play each other this weekend.
That's
Who
one of
you-
my
I'm
points.
rooting
That's
for
one
the
of my
Raiders.
points coming up.
I'm rooting for the Raiders. Let me get mine going then. Devonta Smith. This week, I'm calling it an overreaction, but I'm gonna ride for it. Devonta Smith is a star wide receiver and the best wide receiver 2 in football.
No,
Ooh,
Talk to
I
me.
don't
Give me a
think
better one.
so.
Give me a better
Jalen-
number 2.
Jalen Waddle. Jalen Waddle.
No, stop it. Jalen Waddle is faster than Devonta Smith, but he's not a
Devonta
better
Smith
receiver.
is not better at anything. T. Higgins is
Devonta
better.
Smith- No,
A healthy
Devonta Smith has better hands.
A healthy
I
Chris
trust
Godwin
him.
is better too.
Yeah, healthy Chris Godwin's better.
But is Chris Godwin ever healthy?
He was like 2 years ago.
Come on, man. We're talking 2 years ago. I'm taking Devonta. I don't know. I just think go up and get it. I'd rather have Devonta than most guys. He's a great route runner, and him and Jalen Hurts' connection makes it.
I feel like he just
Marvelous.
disappears a lot
Yeah,
for me. Like he'll have a huge game, and then I feel like the next week he'll come out and.
the next 3 weeks he'll come out
Yeah.
and shit the bed.
But-
But
That
him
was
and
his
AJ
rookie
are
year.
great.
I think he's gonna figure it out coming up, and it's a little bit of a projection. I don't got any numbers to back that up, but I think he's gonna figure it out. And my
Are you
last
buying the
point,
Are you buying the Hurst train?
I'm on the Hurts train. All
On the Hurts train?
aboard.
I've
Come
been on
on.
the Hurts train. I've been on the Hurts train.
I wasn't. I was far from the Hurts train.
I'm
And now
not.
I'm in first class. I'm
I think
riding
he's
the
gonna
Hurts
beat Lamar, have a great regular season every year, and then not lead them far in the playoffs.
train. Hey, if you're Lamar, you're an MVP. I mean,
Fair.
can't complain about that. I don't think he's gonna be as good as Lamar though. I think he's good. But
You might be a better passer than Lamar, or at least.
no,
it's-
bro, Lamar's looks so good. Lamar,
Lamar
Great.
has looked good this year, dude.
Hurts
The
had like,
Ravens-
Hurts had like 300 yards in the first half last week.
but the Ravens might fuck up and have to pay Lamar $300 million instead of that $250. The way
that's
Lamar
gonna.
has been balling.
Their team, the Ravens are so bad.
The
There's
problem
nothing
is,
wrong.
the problem is for
It's a
Lamar.
movie.
Do you want to have some shitty team come pay you that $300 million so you can play for a shitty team, never make the playoffs, or do you want to get paid maybe a little less by the Ravens and go win 4 Super Bowls?
Do you know who I want to see him on so badly? New
Who?
Orleans. They have a good O-line.
Oh,
Alvin Kamara, Michael Thomas, Olaf, a great defense. That'd be scary.
send him to the Broncos. Imagine like a.
The Broncos don't have any money.
Hey,
They're broke.
Giants. He was
Sports
good on
work.
the Giants too.
The way sports work is you could just move stuff around. Like if you're gonna get Lamar, I'm cutting everyone.
They guaranteed a bunch for Russ.
Yeah, they guaranteed
Trade his
a
ass.
shit bunch of money. Shit bunch
Is
of
there
money.
sign-in trades in football? Is there
I don't
sign-in
think so.
trades? Like
I think that's only NBA.
Yeah.
that would be tough. Get a little swap in there, and the Broncos just pay Lamar. My last point, I'm gonna go to war about this point. We were talking about Lamar. I'm taking Mahomes over him. Josh Allen is the 3rd best quarterback in football.
What?
Book it.
I think that's crazy.
That's a
I don't
horrible
think so.
take.
I think Josh Allen has the most help out of any quarterback in football. And if I'm putting Lamar or Mahomes
No, he
this
doesn't.
situation, like elite quarterback, I mean, I'm not. Who would you take?
Mahomes is Kelsey. I'd say Kelsey's a better help than Diggs is.
But
Besides
they got Gabe
Diggs.
Davis, they got McKenzie.
Gabe Davis has had 2 good games in his career.
But Gabe Davis is way better than any of the receivers in Kansas City as a wide receiver too.
Yeah, but I wouldn't say it's like. I don't think a lot of the weapons that Josh Allen has, he made.
I would rather have Isaiah McKenzie than a lot of the wide receivers in Kansas City.
Dude, Trevor's gonna kill you tonight for all your slander. You just slandered his boy
Whatever.
Juju.
Yeah, you just slandered
I'll
Juju.
send another hurricane his way. Juju sucks. Juju is so terrible.
Juju's washed.
Juju is terrible. When he said Juju was a league winner, I told him he was tripping.
He's the top 3 TikToker. That's about it.
He sucks, bro. He's lucky he's playing with Jackson Mahomes. Like that's why he's there.
He's not even the best TikToker in Kansas City.
That's crazy. Come on. But that's my 5 points.
Okay.
I'm gonna ride with them. Tweet
Lamar
at Dort Lil.
So you'd rather have Lamar in the playoffs over Allen?
Yes, I would.
Okay.
I've seen the way you said Josh Allen makes players. I've seen Lamar do that with
Lamar doesn't make players. Lamar does everything. Lamar does everything on his own.
He does. He doesn't need it.
He doesn't make players around him better.
He just goes out and balls. And if they don't pay him, come playoff time, that man is gonna.
Their team is horrible. The Ravens are not good.
In a crazy, a what if situation? If the Ravens win the Super Bowl, how much do they have to pay Lamar?
Oh,
Too much.
Yeah.
$350?
Too much.
4?
They're gonna have to sell their team to pay Lamar.
And that O-line takes a hit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I'll go
That's
next.
it.
Because this might be the most controversial take at all. And I'm gonna apologize to Dolphins fans in advance. The Dolphins should be terrified at the result of that win. If you look at time of possession, if you look at yards, if you look at every conceivable stat besides the score, they got absolutely demolished.
That's their Super Bowl.
Yeah.
They're not beating the Bills again. It's not happening.
So
Super Bowl is crazy.
So what I'm going to say is Dolphins fans are being really obnoxious right now, okay?
Yeah, imagine living in South Florida.
Yeah, I can't imagine. If I was a Dolphins fan, I would be terrified after watching that game and how badly we got beat. We still came out on top, but how badly we got beat. Everywhere. Offense, defense, we got beat bad. Now, we still came out with a win. We can be happy about that. We're 3-0, leading in the division right now. But we almost got... We should have gotten beat by 40 points. It should have been a blowout.
Wait till the Bills are healthy.
That's
what I got to say on that.
They held the Bills, but...
That defense was missing 6 players on their secondary.
And what did Tyreek Hill do? Nothing.
Nothing. Goose said, Kyrie Elam said none of that.
Waddle was meh, too.
Yeah. So that's my first point. And I just kind of... And the reason I'm saying that is because Dolphins fans are being really loud right now. And I'm saying you guys need to calm down because...
Even the NFL media.
Huh?
They're number 1 in the power rankings everywhere.
They're not number 1 in my power rankings.
They're not the best team in football.
No.
Not even close.
No.
Who is?
Bills.
I have the Eagles at number 1 right now.
I would say the Bills. But I'm not mad at the Eagles.
Eagles are up there, but...
Probably 2.
Bills are the best team in football.
So that's my first take. Shout out to Stephen A.
What did he do?
His first take.
Oh. All right. Flew right over my head.
Right over your head. It's okay.
I think you're saying he was gassing the Dolphins.
My second take is did people write off the AFC South too soon? 3-0 this past week against the AFC West, which is supposed to be the best division in football. 3-0 against the AFC West this week.
AFC South sucks, Zach.
Huh?
The AFC South sucks, and I just realized both of you are AFC South fans. That's sad.
Yeah.
Titans are taking the division.
Titans are taking the division? Really?
I'm still
Titans
taking
the division. Book it.
Huh?
I'm with Kerry.
No.
They're just going to run through Henry. Do you know what's very interesting?
Yeah.
Derrick Henry got an insane amount of passes last week. I think he had 5 catches in the first half. I'm like, I've never seen Derrick Henry get that involved in the passing game.
He's not a very good pass catcher. I watched him bobble screen passes, and I was like, oh no.
That was crazy. He bobbled the pass and caught it up here and still ran through someone.
Yeah, I know.
I was like, brother, He should not be human. How do you hold onto the ball like this while there's a person tackling you? That just makes no sense to me. He is not human.
Titans are going to do what they're going to do. They have a great defense led by Simmons and Byard. Henry's going to pound the ball still. Tannehill's game manager does what he does.
Washed.
They're not going far in the playoffs. They're going to get there.
My third take.
Hey,
what? Go ahead.
a good run game and a good defense is how you win the playoffs. You just said both those things. I mean, I wouldn't count them out. I'm not betting on Tannehill ever.
Yeah,
I wouldn't count them out.
Tannehill chokes a lot, sadly.
My third take, and this is kind of going on the Broncos thing that you were talking about, Dort, with Russell Wilson.
Let's ride.
It's time to change the motto to let's ride to let's slide. Because they are sliding down everyone's power rankings because this offense is fucking terrible. It is fucking
100%.
awful. It is the worst offense I have ever watched in my entire life.
Have you
In
watched
the
the Houston
NFL.
Texans? Have you watched the Houston Texans, the Chicago Bears? Sorry,
Do
Dort.
you want to look at the numbers the Bears have put up through 3 weeks in terms of scoring?
Zach, you
Because
seen their
they put up more points than the fucking Broncos. At least
Have
I
you seen
can
their
see touchdowns when I watch a fucking Bears game or
Have you seen their
a Texans game.
Have you seen their passing stats though?
Yeah, no, the Bears are horrible.
don't
Justin
have-
Fields sucks.
They
But
don't have-
that's not a take anyone needs to know. Everyone knows Justin
No.
Fields is fucking awful.
He does not have
Come
300
on, what did I
yards.
say? That's an ESPN take, man.
300
We know
yards in 3 games. No, Trevor would be defending him for some reason.
2-1, they don't need it. Yeah, I did Trevor's job.
Yeah, when they
Yeah,
played-
2-1, they don't need it. That's perfect.
Who needs
That was
yards
so
when you got
good.
wins?
That was a perfect
Who needs
impression
yards
of
when
him.
you got wins? I love you, Trevor.
But like I'm not kidding when I say that this might be the worst offense I've ever seen.
How many TDs do they have? 3? I think.
I know Russell Wilson only has 2.
I'm
They had
surprised.
2
one week
touchdowns,
one.
1 interception.
Yeah,
Is
they
that
have,
as much as
3,
Fields?
they have 3 touchdowns in 3 weeks. Fields has 2 touchdown passes.
So Fields has the same amount of touchdown passes as Russell Wilson, the
Yeah.
baby face of the NFL.
Yeah.
Just want to let you just put that in mind, you know?
Just to keep that in mind. Keep that in mind.
Hey,
Keep
don't-
in mind the
Don't
receiving
fly.
core that Russell Wilson has versus the receiving core
Yes.
that the
Justin
Bears
Fields
have.
has.
Oh
Name,
my god.
Name one receiver on the Bears other than Darnell Mooney.
You can't.
Equimarius St. Brown.
Oh, I actually picked him up in a fantasy league. I think he's gonna be
Really?
good.
Equimarius?
Justin Fields is such a bad quarterback that they ran 2 sweeps to St. Brown. I think those were 2 of his passes.
I've never seen a team so hesitant to throw the ball in like the last 10 years. Is crazy.
It's kind of cool though. Like it's kind of fun. Like
Until they
throw
play
the
a
ball.
real team and then they fall behind
Yes.
14-0 and it's over. Do you think he's gonna bounce back at all, Zach or Russ?
No.
Or do you think they're just gonna be this bad?
I don't
There's
know
no way they can do
whether
it.
I don't know whether to blame the play calling or to blame Russ because all the pieces are there for any kind of quarterback worth their salt to be able to have an amazing season.
It's just the Broncos' curse. They can't get good quarterbacks.
That goes to my point, bro. He's a system quarterback and a terrible system, so you have to blame both of them. I mean, if Russell Wilson can't go out there and be a playmaker, and Nathaniel Hackett's your playmaker, then you're fucked.
So
Fair.
my next take is gonna upset Dort a little bit.
But I think this Raiders will be a big point because their defense is not good. If he can't tear up the Raiders, time to abandon ship.
the Bengals aren't back. The Bengals aren't back.
I'm with you, honestly.
They're not.
As a
They're
joke,
not back.
when you have no time in the pocket, it's hard to be back.
So they had some protection against the Jets, but I think that has more to do with the Jets' pass rush than the Bengals O-line. And they play the Dolphins this week, and this is the reason why if this was one of our pick'em games, I would be picking the Dolphins.
Do you think the Bengals are back if they beat the Dolphins?
Yeah.
Depends.
That's
I'd
a
have
big
to see
win.
their. I'd have to.
Depends how.
Depends
You're
how.
right. It depends
Yeah.
how. I mean, if it's just a weak game where the Dolphins are throwing it away, old Tua's back. then it's hard. But
Yeah.
the Bengals, I think
They play the Ravens week after.
I really hope they beat the Dolphins this week. That's what I'm gonna say. I
Yeah,
hope
I've
they
had
shut
enough.
up.
I've had enough
Dolphins
of
fans.
Who is
shut the
not
fuck
good?
up.
Two is a game manager.
Talk, bro, because that Ravens game, he did throw 6 touchdowns, but a lot of them were just throwing up to Tyreek. He's down the field somewhere, or Jalen Waddle cutting up the defense because a safety fell asleep.
Who is a good quarterback? But at least 10 to 15 quarterbacks in the NFL, if they had the weapons, the play calling, the team that Tua had, they'd put up the same numbers. Like Derek Carr in that system would be winning too. They have a great
Talk.
great
Because Derek
calling.
Carr is a dog.
If you gave Joe Burrow, Tyreek Hill, and Jalen Waddle, is going to put up huge numbers. Justin Herbert would be great there. Kyler Murray would do great there. Jimmy G would do well there. Like, it was not that special, Dolphins fans.
I don't know about Jimmy G. I don't know about Jimmy G. I was riding.
I don't know
Jimmy
about
G.
Jimmy G either.
I'm not riding.
That's a little
I'm
crazy.
not riding with Jimmy.
I'm not riding with Jimmy G.
But Zach, is there not a lot of quarterbacks that can do what Tua is doing right now?
Yeah.
He doesn't have to do that much. He just doesn't have to throw stupid turnovers. That's all they need from him. The team is so good.
You have Jimmy G there, and Tyreek and Waddle are running slants all game. No more deep balls.
And Jimmy G's running out of the back of the end zone for a safety.
Stepping on racism.
He's ending race.
He's stepping on racism. All right. My last point. It's an I told you so. Giants fans. I told you so.
I was riding for the Giants in that.
About what?
Chat.
Told you so. They ain't it. They're a fraud 2-0 team. They're a fraud 2-1 team.
Their defense is good. But Zach, you were wrong. You said they were going to go 1-16.
I did
So
say
they
they were
lose.
going one. I'll admit, I said they were going 1-16. They
I
got
told
2
you.
wins.
Extradamus.
They're probably going to win like 6 or 7, I think.
But are they still going to be one of the worst teams in the NFL?
Probably.
Yeah.
Zach, is it time to start Tyrod Taylor?
Dude, yes, please. Dear God, give me Tyrod Taylor over Daniel Jones any fucking day. Any fucking day. Give me Tyrod.
Bryce.
If you put CJ Stroud or Bryce Young in this team next year, like,
No.
they could be a wild card team. Like,
They're good. I think they're good. If you get them a
Tyler
quarterback
Van Dyke,
and maybe another receiver, so he's not throwing to David Sills.
Kenny Galladay.
Yeah, cut Kenny Galladay. I don't give a fuck how much you're paying.
Biggest
him.
bomb in the NFL.
He sucks. Put me out there. He's going zero yards.
You know, you had the same amount of targets last night as Kenny Galladay, and he made $17 million.
Yeah,
Hey,
feels bad, man.
He's on the Barely Football podcast.
But that's my 5 takes. Kerry, why don't you give yours?
Wait, I just want to... Zach,
Mm-hmm.
you did not have the Jags in your take. Jags, probably the biggest win the Jags have had in a long time.
I did. I
Yeah,
said
no,
the
Jags-
AFC South. People wrote off the AFC South too soon.
Okay.
But not the Jags. What are
What
your new,
division are the Jags playing in, Kerry?
I want to hear your new expectations for this team.
My expectations? They're going up.
Fair.
Is
They're
Saxon
going up
back?
after 2 dominant wins. But
Winning division?
I think we will win the division. We look like the most complete team.
Trevor, most improved player of the year?
He's got a chance if he keeps at this pace.
Nah, give it to James Robinson, man.
Yeah. James Robinson was great.
He's hoofing.
I thought Etienne was going to get more touches, but it's been
How
James
would James
Robinson.
Robinson being James Robinson? They should have been
I
doing
knew
this
it,
shit
bro.
last year. Fuck you, Urban Meyer.
Yes. Now we actually have a competent coach that's not...
Did you guys see I tweeted?
Wait.
I
Also,
tweeted
wait.
the
No.
Broncos-
Fuck that. I'm adding a take. I said the biggest upgrade the Jags made this year was at the head coaching position, and I was fucking right. We look like a completely different team on that football field. Completely different.
I mean,
Common
They have an
Zach
actual-
W.
they have an-
Common
they have an
Zach W.
they have an actual guy with an actual brain coaching the team this year, so I guess that is an improvement from...
I think Doug
Right.
Peterson knows who Aaron Donald is. I'll put
He's
it
so
down.
good.
Yeah.
Doug Peterson's a beast. Like he's just always, he's innovative. That's the word. One word, innovative. I think the Broncos need to sign Urban Meyer. So there, I added a take too.
All
They
right.
need some grit.
But
My
I
5
mean,
points.
to simplify that question, Kerry,
Yes.
my heart wants to believe that Jacksonville can do something special,
This week is the tell.
but I don't want it. I don't want my heart to be broken again.
If they beat the Eagles,
My walls are up, Kerry. My walls
they-
are up.
if they're 3-1 and they beat the undefeated Eagles, Saxonville is back.
Yo, I'm gonna be wearing crazy shit next episode if they beat the Eagles. I'm gonna come in with some fucking crazy takes.
You're gonna look like that Giants fan.
Trevor
Yeah,
Lawrence is better than Josh Allen.
Crazy.
See, Trevor Lawrence is better than Justin Herbert.
all right, go ahead,
Low
Kerry.
key.
All right. First of all, I'm gonna shout out to Tyler. I bet that the Chiefs are gonna beat the Colts last week. Tyler in my Beerly Carry League, and for some reason, Chiefs won. So shout out to you for getting one
Colts
right.
won.
Go Colts. Yeah, same team. All right. Number 1. The Steelers' offense is horrible, but it is not on Trubisky.
I agree.
The play calling is terrible.
Play calling is
Terrible.
bad.
The O-line is awful.
Yep.
The receivers, ton of drops last week's game. Trubisky's not playing well by any standards, but everybody's ramping on him like it's fault. If you put Kenny Pickett out there, he's not doing any better.
Yeah.
His team is a mess.
So are they
Yeah,
protecting Kenny Pickett?
So wait, what?
Would you say they're protecting Kenny Pickett and that's why he's not out there? They don't want him to look like a joke, like Trubisky?
They're just very conservative.
First off, I tweeted out during that game. I was like, Trubisky doesn't look that bad right now.
Second half he did, but first half
I mean,
looked pretty
he
good.
still didn't look terrible. He didn't
Yeah, he
look
wasn't
good, but he didn't look terrible. His
They-
team
they
looked
need-
bad.
They need that OC to go.
Yeah.
But
That's
I don't know
awful
why
play calling.
people keep calling for Pickett. Pickett is not. I don't think
Pickett's
gonna
not
be
the
that-
answer in Pittsburgh.
Especially not with that O line.
Yeah.
Wait till next year, or at
Well, you
least
want-
until.
You want
At
your
least
future to
the
get
season's over.
injured.
And Steelers have an insane stretch. They play the Jets this week, but after that they play I think it was 5 straight playoff teams from last year. Keep Trubisky in, see what happens. Just go from there. All right, number 2. Baker is not the guy in Carolina. I hyped him up this offseason. He's terrible. He's not good.
To be fair, it is a Matt Rule
Zach-
coached offense.
Fair.
I don't give a fuck who's
Still,
coaching, bro.
Baker's
Baker sucks.
horrible.
Nathaniel
numbers.
Hackett is coaching. Oh my god.
Zach, he ranks 32nd in the NFL in total QBR, 31st in completion percentage.
What's his pass? What does he rank in passer rating, Kerry?
I don't know. I'm just looking on this. 28th in passing yards, 25th in TD passes, and the only reason his numbers look good last week because he threw a 67-yard tee to Chenault behind the line of scrimmage. He also has 5 fumbles this year. Baker does not look good at all. And it's not like
Do you want me to
They've
tell
had
you
a-
where he ranks passer rating?
sure. Wait, what is it?
He's 25th. He's better than 7 other quarterbacks.
That's it. Come on.
Wow.
He
Well, you're
sucks.
making him
And
sound
I
like
know-
the worst quarterback in the league, and you're
One
calling
of-
for
look-
Sam
one
Darnold.
of-
Sam Darnold fucking sucks.
Wait.
We've seen
Sam
what we
Darnold
need to
sucks.
see from that man.
Sam
Bring
Darnold
out
looked
that
great.
corral.
Sam Darnold looked great last year when he had a good O-line the first 3 weeks.
You're crazy.
Zach,
Shut
The first
up,
3 weeks.
Carrie.
He was
Shut
You're
up.
crazy.
when they were 3-0, did he not look good then?
Carrie, when you shaved your head, did you also lose all of your brain cells?
I would never do that in my life.
You just said Sam Darnold looked good at football.
For 3 weeks. and then he
Imagine
looked
saying
terrible
Sam
after that.
Darnold was good at football. Imagine saying
All
that.
right. Baker
Hey,
is not.
Barely Boss, fire him. Pack him up.
Baker is not the guy. I don't think Sam Darnold's the guy. But they
Not
need to
Corral.
try Sam Darnold. Corral's out for the year.
Yeah.
Oh, he is?
Yeah. And we're not playing PJ Trash Walker, the worst quarterback in the NFL.
But he's fine.
Panthers have the team. Matt Rule needs to go. I don't know. See what happens, but Baker.
Matt Rule needs to get fired yesterday. Dude, this guy is bad at coaching football.
I don't know what blackmail he has on the owner, but
how is he not gone?
Come on, Baker. I need Baker for comeback player of the year.
They don't feed McCaffrey. I don't get it. I don't know. Like,
they're trying to protect him. They don't want him. They don't want him to have the same amount of touches as he's had in the past.
Because the O-line's just terrible. Like even their win.
Go out and win.
Even their win this week, they only won because Jameis Winston is hurt and looks awful. Jameis is horrible this year. They need this.
Wait.
Keep they talking, need to start Andy. They need to start Andy Dalton.
Andy Dalton. They should have traded for Garoppolo.
Winston is obviously not healthy. I mean, who knows? Even if he is healthy, if he's the answer, but with the injury, he looks horrible.
I never understood Baker belief because he had all the help in the world in Cleveland, and they still sucked. And people were like, just give him a chance.
He was hurt last year.
I'm saying before that. He's always – I've never watched a Baker
season. He was 1 year. But he was a game manager at best.
I don't think so. And they had all the tools in the world. I mean, you got Odell, Landry, and the best running backs in football on the same team.
He's going to be in like that Ryan Tannehill tier, I think, at his like peak. Like a decent game manager, but he's not going to like take his team over the top. And like this Panther team with no line, he's not going to lead them. He's going to have to be carried by CMC, the defense, whoever.
I think he's hit his peak. Who would you rather have right now, Baker or Trubisky?
Baker.
These are the real conversations we're here for.
The hypotheticals, the ones that Trevor hates.
The Baker or Trubisky? I'm taking Mitch. I'm taking Money Mitch every day.
That's really close for me. I can't pick.
I might say Trubisky this year, but it's very close.
I'm gonna go dead even. Doesn't matter.
Remind me of the 217. It's like that. It's that meme, the mid off.
They're the Spider-Mans pointing at each other.
Baker Mayfield, Mitch Trubisky.
They're just.
All right.
They suck.
Point number 3. Last year's QBs are going to go down as one of the biggest bust QB classes of all time. Trevor Lawrence is the one I like. He looked horrible last year, but he's looked good this year. It looks like he's going to turn things around. So Lawrence, I'll give you that. The rest of them, Justin Fields is horrible.
Yeah. I never was a believer in Fields.
Yeah, Ohio State quarterbacks are horrible in the NFL. He's done.
Terrell Pryor's a good wide receiver, though, when he was healthy.
Sure. Davis Mills, I like last year's Tadley Dort, but he looks awful this year.
He's good.
He's not
good. He's not great. He's not amazing.
I think he's gonna be like a high tier backup. I think it's gonna be his career.
Here, I know what you're about to say, Kerry. I know what you're about to say. Let me respond once you say it, though. Go ahead.
All right. Mac Jones is not the guy.
Okay. He will never be the guy if you do not help this man. Jesus Christ. Get an offensive play caller in there. Help this fucking guy out. Jesus Christ. This guy's... I feel so bad for Mac Jones. He gets brought in to racist Boston, where he's got to deal with all these racist fans.
He's white.
Doesn't matter. Racism is racism.
He's white.
This is Boston. We need winners.
I think I could see Mac going to a different team and being really good or really bad.
I told you that he was the most pro-ready last year. If I wanted a quarterback last year to take you to the playoffs, it would have been Mac Jones. But he has the least ceiling of them all. Mac Jones has already reached his peak.
I wouldn't say that, because we haven't seen him with a good offense. Did they have a good offense last year? No. Do they have a good offense this year? Absolutely fucking not. Are they going to have a good offense next year? Probably not, because Bill Belichick doesn't like wide receivers for whatever reason.
At best, he's in the Jimmy G category with Tannehill.
Yeah, but
this Patriots offense,
he hasn't hit that yet. He has never been Jimmy G or Tannehill yet.
The Patriots defense team, they have a good defense and a good run game. They need a dual threat quarterback. I think that's what
Go
this
get
team
Cam
needs.
Newton. That worked out really well for you guys. That worked out
I
really
want
well.
I want Cam Newton back. I don't want to see Brian Hoyer. Brian Hoyer is going to get killed in Lambeau this weekend. I do not want to see Brian Hoyer.
Brian
That is
Hoyer.
horrible. Who wants to see Brian Hoyer against
I
Aaron Rodgers?
do.
Brian Hoyer.
Brian
is the
Hoyer has
backup
won an
quarterback.
NFL game before, probably.
Everyone
He's
needs
the
to start the
most
Packers
backup
defense.
quarterback.
We need to see Bailey Zappa. But all right, Mac, I don't believe in.
It's Zappy,
Zach
right?
Wilson.
Oh, Zappy.
Zappy, yeah. Zach Wilson, the highlight of his career is going to be banging that grandma or mom, whatever. He's terrible. He's not. He's a Jet. He's not going to be good either. He's going to be a bust. Mark my words. I have no faith in him. Trey Lance. Wow, we saw 2 games of him, got hurt. He's not the guy. This class is not good. Trevor Lawrence is the only saving face right now, and even I'm not that high on him.
I'm high on him.
I mean, are you high on any?
Davis
Are you
Mills?
higher on any of these guys?
I could see Mac Jones being a mid quarterback, which is not a
Davis
bad
Mills,
thing.
talk about it.
It's not
Yeah.
bad to be a mid quarterback if you have a good team around you. The problem is he doesn't have a good team around him at all. Okay? I could see Trey Lance even bouncing back. Right? I could
Are
see
you
him
doing this
bouncing
on
back.
purpose? Why are we disrespecting Davis Mills?
Okay,
Like he's not
getting
the second best
to
quarterback
him.
in this class.
Shut the fuck up, Dort. I'm getting to it.
He's the second best, so why is he the fourth one you talk about?
Because I'm defending Mac Jones because he's calling for like Bailey Zappi to fucking start.
No, I'm not. I think Zappy should start over Hoyer.
Okay. Davis Mills, I think is exactly the same quarterback as Mac Jones in a much worse situation.
I
I
agree
think
with
they
that.
are identical quarterbacks.
I think Mills is a better deep ball.
Yeah, he's
I
got a
was gonna
better.
say
I will
that.
say that
That's
he's
what I
got
was
a
gonna
better
say.
deep ball, but I think they're both incredibly mid.
But here's the one thing.
I
That
think
Davis
he's mid
Mills-
too.
But here's the one
But
thing.
mid
that
is fine if you got a good team around you.
But Davis
Yeah,
Mills
gets the job
was
done.
he a 3rd or 4th round pick?
What?
He was fourth.
4th round picks don't get the chances that 1st round QBs get. That's the thing. Like Davis Mills, he might outplay some of these guys through 2 years, but because he wasn't a 1st round pick, he's not going to get the chances a guy like Mac Jones and Zach Wilson's going to get.
I'd be if the Houston Texans take a quarterback in this upcoming draft, I'd be shocked. There are
I
so
think they
many
will.
other needs.
I think
So
they
many
will.
other needs on that team.
I agree with
I
that.
think-
and I don't agree with you, Kerry, on the first round quarterback thing. If it comes to your team, like I think he's played good with the Texans or played all right with the Texans.
He's definitely outplayed his draft stock.
Yeah.
So
easily.
give him a leash. But I think you're right in if he went to a different team, they wouldn't be like, oh, we need to start Davis Mills because we have this guy. That might not be as good, but because he was a first round pick, they'd probably start that guy. But
I'd rather have Davis Mills than Mac Jones right now.
I would too. Because
And-
Davis Mills isn't a clown that hits the gritty after his first rushing touchdown.
And I will
In the
guarantee
Pro
this.
Bowl.
We'll have to see this next year, but I will guarantee of the Bears, Jets, and Texans, one of those 3 teams will be drafting a quarterback in the 1st round next year. Not saying who, but one of them will.
I don't think so.
Someone-
I think
I'm
the
gonna
Bears
agree.
will. I definitely think the Bears will be because I think that they see Justin Fields ain't that guy.
And they did. This coaching regime didn't draft him, so
Yep.
they obviously don't trust him if they're letting him throw the ball 12 times a game.
Yeah.
But
I don't know.
all
I don't
right,
think so. I think if any team were to draft a quarterback, as much as I hate to say this, I think it would be my Texans first. Because
I mean,
the Jets don't know about Zach Wilson yet. Like
if
that's
there's
such
a number
question
one
mark.
pick, you can get Bryce Young on the board right there. Or
I
Stroud.
think Texans would take like a late first quarterback. I don't know how the draft
They-
class looks.
They might have the number one pick in football at this point. How it
I
looks
think so
early.
too. But I think we have 2 first round picks this year. I think we
All
have the
right.
Cardinals pick.
I'm gonna do an in-between point because obviously if Trevor's here, we'd be talking about this. And I know Trevor loved his game this week. Come on, Justin Herbert was hurt. He did not play well.
I
you
said
watch him
I
at the
said
snap-
last week that they shouldn't start Herbert in this game
Oh, they
because
should
of the
have started-
pass rush.
They would have had a better chance with Chase Daniel to win that game. Herbert
They should have pulled him.
Herbert looked horrible in the first 2 drives. He couldn't do
They should
anything.
have pulled him.
And that line was hurt. But the big thing for me, that Chargers defense is a mess.
They
Trevor talks about them being elite. They look the Jags killed them.
I think that was
They're
not
top
on
heavy,
the
but
offense's fault, but the Chargers offense looked like they didn't want to be out there, like everyone. So I mean
Herbert
that
could
definitely.
not have been playing.
Herbert
But this
definitely
and
shouldn't have been playing.
this was a star-studded defense. Like Jackson, Mack, Bosa.
By the way, can we talk about the fact that the Tua Tagovailoa didn't have a concussion?
Yeah, that was
crazy.
fall
And he
down.
got
No, that's classic NFL right there.
No, I pinched a
Crazy.
nerve in my back. Shut the fuck up.
yeah, that investigation's gonna be crazy.
He
Would they
had
be
a
better off-
fucking concussion, and you know it. That man
How
was
big-
like, ugh.
How big would the fall off be with Teddy B on that team?
So big.
Eh,
So
Teddy B's
I'm
not
not
that
a
bad.
Tua guy, but Teddy B is nowhere near
Teddy B,
Tua.
Teddy B looked better in Denver last season than Russ does.
That's true.
That's true.
But that's because he didn't have Nathaniel Hackett.
All right, number 4. Another one at Trevor. He's gonna love this one whenever he hears that. Bucks are in trouble. Bucks are not the team they were. Brady looks lost. Brady looked horrible once again. It's time to jump ship on Brady in fantasy. Brady.
What is Brady doing audibling with 5 seconds left on the play clock in a goal in a 2-point conversion situation? And by the way, that should have been back-to-back delay of game penalties. On the
That was
touchdown,
crazy.
that should have been a delay game. They got away with one, and then he makes the same mistake again on the 2-point conversion, gets called for it.
But
Like,
Brady's
dude, you got to have your head in the game. This is supposed to be his thing. He's a cerebral quarterback, right? You got to
never
understand
looked
what the
at
play clock's doing. It looks like he doesn't want to be out on the football field. It looks like he doesn't want to be there.
He's playing with Rashad
never
Perriman
looked
as his
this
wide
bad
receiver
before.
1.
It doesn't matter. He's supposed to make everybody around him look better. He looked better than this in New England when he's throwing in N'Keal Harry and Kendall Dropkins or whatever his name was. He
I
had,
think
Tom Brady-
I don't know. It's just weird. It's
how
a
many
weird
touchdowns?
situation.
How many touchdowns do you think Brady has in 3 games? Dort?
I would say 4.
3.
Wow.
He-
A 4
he has-
was a
He has thrown for 212 yards against Dallas, 190 against New Orleans, and 271 last week. Most of that came in the second half.
Most of that came on that a majority of
Yeah,
that came on the
totally.
final drive.
But I think,
think-
that's more on the way Brady needs to be played, and that's you got to pound the ball, and then that opens stuff up for him, and
I
they
think-
just haven't been doing that.
But the
I
thing
think
in the past was Brady was the short passing game was part of the run game. Like that's what he was so good at was that short passing game, and then that opens up the deep ball.
And he's not throwing it. I don't know if you saw the stat. I forget what it was, but he had like insane amount of targets to his tight ends when Gronk was there, and he's thrown at him like 5 times this season.
Yeah.
The O-line's not good. His receiving cores Julio had another injury I saw today. They can't stop
Every
getting
day.
hurt. The defense
It
is all this
sucks.
team has. This Bucs team is. If the Saints weren't, if Winston wasn't as injured as he was, I think this is their division. But I think the Bucs will luck out because the Saints are a mess on offense and somehow win this. But this team is not good. They're not going far.
No.
And I think this. I mean, this has been debated like last few years about like, the changing of the guard with Rodgers and Brady and like, Lamar, Mahomes, and Allen. But I think this final year that we see those guys overtake Rodgers and Brady and they start to fall.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
think I would say the Bucks are falling off more than Brady is. Like it's kind of just
It's a
shitty
joint
situation.
effort.
It's a joint effort, but I think
Yeah.
Brady clearly isn't the guy that he used to be.
He was.
I
yeah,
think he
agree,
should. I think he
100%.
should have stayed retired because I think right now he's hurting his legacy.
For sure. It's like Kobe.
Yeah.
All right,
Jack
my last
Adams.
point. Zach kind of went over this. Don't overhype the Dolphins. That's a huge win for them. Bills. It was a hot game in Miami. Bills missed a bunch of starters. Tua just looked like Tua once again. They're good. I can't see this team winning in the playoffs. Like, this team is not winning a Super Bowl. Not yet. Maybe in a year or two, but I can't see this team beating the Bills again.
I agree.
What are
I
your
can't
thoughts on
either.
the Dolphins?
I think if the Bills are healthy, they win that game. But also, concussed Tua did throw and win the game. So I mean, it's an interesting situation. I don't think they're legit. I think they're gonna be good. I think if I had to bet on it, they're in the Bills division, right? It's Dolphins, Bills,
Patriots, Jets.
Yeah. Go Pat.
I think they win that division still. I think they're a good regular season team, but I wouldn't say Super Bowl or anything like that.
I'd have to look at their schedule to see.
I think they have a hard end of their schedule, I believe.
I think so too.
But I think the thing with football that's cool is they have the same schedule as the Bills, and I think that they're better built for the regular season. Just because I think Josh Allen's not gonna take shit in the playoffs. Like Josh Allen's we're gonna get a legendary playoff run from Josh Allen this year.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be something crazy.
Tua's not gonna lead this team in the playoffs. It's gonna be his weapons around him leading this team.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I just think, like we said earlier, like the Ravens aren't blowing coverages in the playoffs.
Yo, man, Justin Herbert sucked, yo!
Yo! Billy Hoops, we up!
Live from the Hurricane.
Live from evacuation station.
This man.
Trevor Scott, live on the podcast.
I just muted him.
Crazy.
Wait, hold on. I'll stop. Wait, no, he left. Never mind. Trevor, you can come back if it.
Have him come back for rapid fire because this is gonna be it for me.
Yeah.
Boys. Sorry, I gotta go. Thank you guys again for having me on. Beerly
Well,
a great Beerly pod.
Follow him on Twitter.
Follow me on Twitter at DORT_LIL. I'm posting twice a week on YouTube at Dort Shiesty. What else do I do, man? Beerly Hoops, all that, man. You guys show love on there. And again, thank you guys for having me on. Carrie, the hair looks great.
No, thanks, man. I try. Just for you, Dort.
Thank you. You guys take care.
All right. Sadly, Trevor's still at work. He won't
He won't be able to come back.
He made a rare appearance. He's not dead. Hopefully next week we'll see him so we can hear more Herbert slander. He did tweet that Tua was better than Herbert this week, so got to get entertaining points from Trevor. But Zach, ready for some rapid fire? You got any last takes?
Let's go. It's just me, so
All
my
right.
opinion is the only one that matters.
Describe Joe Burrow as a quarterback in one word.
Joe Burrow as a quarterback in one word. Mine
is game-manager.
Hyphenated. I like it.
Yeah.
I said good.
I know I saw you tweet this earlier. Rank these tight ends: Kittle, Kelsey, Andrews.
I got a lot of pushback for this. Also, fuck that guy. I was trying to explain myself. He got all nasty with me.
No one uses quote tweets to reply to people in 2022.
I do. I'm shouting this guy out by putting him on my page.
There you go. I got Kelsey, Andrews, Kittle.
I got Kittle, Kelsey, Andrews.
Kittle just he did not do anything Sunday.
What?
He can't stay healthy.
Look at his fucking quarterback.
Kelsey's better.
He's also got a top 5 quarterback. Guess what Andrews has? A top 5 quarterback. Kittle has never had that. Ever.
Kittle's not a better receiving back than either. He's easily the best blocker of the three. But I don't even think with the top quarterback he's going to put up huge numbers.
I think he could. I think.
Sadly, we'll never know.
I think you're missing out on. I think you're forgetting the fact that when he is healthy and when he is catching a lot of passes, the guy's a game breaker.
But you got to take into account that he's never healthy. He misses a game every year. Like, when do we see Kelsey or Andrews even hurt? They're always... But Kittle, every single year, it's injury problems.
It's because he's in so many run-blocking plays.
Guy can't stay healthy. All right. True or false, Davis Mills is better than Justin Fields?
True. Absolutely.
True.
Come on. Give me a hard one.
All right. What was the worst fantasy football decision you made this week?
I already talked about this.
Well, Patterson?
Patterson on the bench.
I don't even know. I made a couple bad decisions with my defenses, I think, this week, but I don't think there's any huge.
Also, I played the Chargers defense against the Jags. They had -4.
Yeah. Bad move there. Are the Dolphins for real? Yes, but no is what I'm saying.
Yeah, define real. Are they a real
Open,
playoff
open
contender?
interpretation.
They're gonna
Yeah.
make the playoffs.
Do you have an updated win total for them? I'm gonna say like 12 for me.
I'd have to go back through and check. I haven't posted my power rankings yet. Maybe I'll do that tomorrow.
Do it. All right. Are you buying Trevor Lawrence's early success this season?
What do you mean by buying?
Are you buying it? These are obviously vague for reasons, Zach.
I already said what I thought his season totals were going to be this year. Right now, he's on pace to hit those. So that's my answer.
If he plays well against Philly, I'm sold. Okay. But
if he plays well against the best defense in football right now,
are they?
I think so.
They're up there, but I don't know if they're number one. All right. Is Justin Herbert overrated, properly rated, or underrated?
Justin Herbert?
Yes.
He gets a lot of hate for reasons I can't explain.
I don't see it. Besides the one person on this podcast that is
Nando hates him. A lot of Dolphins fans talk shit about Justin Herbert. I just don't get it.
You wonder why? Because they're jealous they didn't get him and they got stuck with Tua.
I'm gonna go properly rated because I think a lot of people rate him high.
I'm gonna say overrated.
Really?
I think he does get like slack in the national media. Like when I will agree with that with Nano. Like when Tua throws a pick, the media is all over it. But if Herbert throws a pick, it's not as big of a deal. So I'll give him that. But obviously Herbert's.
But that's with every top quarterback though.
Fair, but even I think Burrow gets a little more hate than Herbert does.
Okay.
All right, who will end up being the Chiefs' best tight end of all time? Tony Gonzalez or Travis Kelce?
The old heads will say Tony Gonzalez, but it's probably Travis Kelce.
I'm saying Gonzalez. I mean, it's just a different NFL back then.
Yeah,
like
that's the thing. It's so different.
If Gonzalez and Mahomes, like.
It's like MJ and LeBron. It's just different eras. Like
exactly.
No one was throwing to tight ends before Tony Gonzalez.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. True or false? Dolphins have the best wide receiver duo in the NFL. I'm taking true. Because you got the Eagles, Bengals, Bucks. But they're just so fast and so quick. It's hard to stop both of them for me.
I think they have the fastest. I wouldn't say the best.
Who'd you say is the best?
I really like the Bengals 1 and 2. I think in terms of when I'm putting a team together, the kind of wide receivers that I'd want would be T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, are bigger. They can go up and catch passes over guys where you're not going to get that out of Waddle and Tyreek. That's probably the big one. Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, another two guys can go up and catch passes. So if I'm putting a team together, I'd probably want those two ones over Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, but that's mainly because that's my subjective opinion on what I want my wide receivers to do, and I think that they're better red zone threats than Waddle and Hill.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. Should Kenny Pickett take over as QB1 already?
No.
Should he this season?
Maybe. It depends on what we see the rest of the year. Because if we see the same shit where Trubisky's playing mediocre quarterback play, but behind a terrible offensive line, mediocre weapons, and terrible offensive play calling. As a Pittsburgh fan, I wouldn't want to see Kenny Pickett because that'd make me have a lower opinion of Kenny Pickett.
True, but I don't think Trubisky's the answer as much as I like him. But I mean, you look, it's a new thing that everybody expects so much about rookie quarterbacks. But if you go back, Manning had a terrible rookie season. A lot of these good quarterbacks had horrible rookie seasons. So sometimes it's just going to get them some playing time. So especially,
I wouldn't be surprised we see him close to the end of the year, but I would keep him off the field as much as I can with how bad that O-line is.
if they're 1-2 right now, if you start to see this team take a dip and fall out of play contention, I think it might be time.
Yeah.
But still rooting for you, Mitch. He's the greatest tweet of all time. So, all right, this one's kind of a little outdated because last week. But which of these teams should be most concerned about their slow start? Bengals, Colts, Broncos, Raiders.
I think the real answer is the Raiders, but the more real answer is the Broncos.
Because I think the Bengals they'll turn it around, be decent enough. The Colts have a shot just because the AFC South is so weak. Sorry. The Raiders scare I don't know if you saw that McDaniels had a
Yeah.
closed door meeting with the owner.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, but their defense looks horrible.
Yeah. Their
Derek
offense
Carr
doesn't look that good either.
Derek Carr hasn't played well. It seems. I mean, for a team that really outplayed expectations last year too.
Yeah.
But that's it for rapid fire.
But I think the Broncos, the reason I picked the Broncos there as the real answer is Teddy Bridgewater looked better in that offense. You paid all this money for this quarterback. You got to start seeing results at some point. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, the only thing I'll give him is he played in Seattle for how many years? It's still a new offense.
But
it's only been
God,
3 weeks.
3 weeks
Yeah.
and you're putting up nothing with that wide receiver core.
They can't beat the winless Raiders. Then it's, I think, really time to jump the ship.
Yeah, you got to start pressing the panic button real fast.
But still early, I'll give them that. But
Yeah.
with how good this defense is, if they had an elite quarterback, this is a top tier team in the NFL, which they thought they'd be with Russ, and they're not.
They're not. If they run into a good offense, they're fucked.
Yeah. Basically. I don't know. Let me just pull up their schedule. I know they play the Raiders this week, but I want to see when did they play the Chiefs? That'll be a big. Because I can't see this team going toe to toe with the Chiefs unless they shut down Mahomes.
It's easier said than done, though. So they have the Raiders, the Colts, then they have the Chargers. Wow, their schedule's easy.
Very easy, yeah. Jets, Jaguars in London.
Hey, Jaguars never lose in London.
Yeah. Titans, Raiders, Panthers, Well, they do. They have a hard finish. They got the Chiefs,
they got a tough finish. They got the Ravens, the Chiefs, the Cardinals, the Rams, the Chiefs, the Chargers to finish the year. And if last year is to be believed, the Chargers are going to be trying to work their way as a wild card into the playoffs at that point, I think.
So I think they're only Russ starts to beat up on these weaker teams like the Jets, Panthers, whoever, and then by the time they get to that final stretch, the offense is actually carrying its load. But I don't know. Don't like this team.
No.
I'm also falling off the Chargers. I think the Chargers' luck. They're not a lucky team. Injuries starting to pile up.
The injuries are terrible, man. They're so bad.
They were a favorite for me. I don't know, but I don't know who's going to step up. I mean, Raiders don't look good. Broncos don't look good. This division was supposed to be the best in football. Really just hasn't looked it early on.
No. All right. Well, that has been the show. Thank you guys for tuning in. Anything you want to plug before we head off, Gary?
Follow us on Twitter at Beerly Football for rapid fire questions. Follow all our entities on Twitter at Beerly Baseball, Beerly Hoops, Beerly Hockey, Beerly Bets, Beerly Sports. Follow us on Instagram at Beerly Sports, on TikTok at Beerly Sports, on YouTube at Beerly Sports. Anywhere you can get anything, we're there.
Right.
Oh, and follow me on my personal at Beerly Carey. Beerly Carey.
Beerly Carey.
Follow Trevor, who will hopefully be back next week if he doesn't die of the hurricane this week, at Beerly. I think it's Trev Scott.
Yeah. And you can follow me for all my wonderful takes.
Wonderful.
At Beerly Zach on Twitter. Beerly Zach on Twitter. I'm trying to stay more active on there, so come on by.
QB Index dropping tomorrow for me.
Yeah, QB Index dropped today for me, or power ranking. And then my NFL power ranking dropping on the day this podcast uploads. So we will see you guys next week. Thank you guys for tuning in. Bye-bye.
Good night.